What's up guys, Barry Game here, back with some more AFK Journey, and today we now know that Nara is going to be the first released hero in the Waves of Intrigue season. She does fit thematically. She is that Graveborn hero that she's coming over from AFK Arena. She does look badass, let's just be honest. Like, this hero, she looks very fitting for Graveborn, and she's actually an integral part of the story. We've even seen her already in the trailers and everything, and she just looks absolutely badass. However, is this going to be a hero we actually want to summon for? That's a whole different topic. Let's break down her abilities, let you guys get a better understanding for what she can do, because we are able to test her out here. Overall, I will say she does seem like a very good tech hero. However, not a I'm just going to use this hero everywhere like Lily May was. I think it's going to be a while before we see another Lily May tier type of hero. Even the new Celestial coming out soon isn't a use everywhere type hero. And I think a lot of these heroes are going to be tools that you can add to your toolkit and pull out when you actually need them to be useful. So one thing I will say with Nara, her Phantom Chains is a very awesome displacement ability to pull the enemy from their side of the battlefield over to your side. The difference between her and Reinier, because as we all know, Reinier does something very different, where you're going to straight up just swap a hero from the other side of the battlefield to your side immediately at the beginning of battle. She still does that type of swap ability, but she's going to chain them across the battlefield and pull them across, and then she's going to continue to do this through the battlefield. So just to show you guys exactly what that looks like, when you're getting your team set up here, I'll just throw in like a couple of random heroes here, and then I'll put Nara in. You can see here her chains work very similar to the way Sylvena's ability does. Is going to go with the closest target to what she can do while being across. So like you can see here, if we're on the same exact tile, it's going to prioritize the target right on that same tile. However, if you go back, it's going to go to the one that's a little bit further back. And of course, distance with this hook is very important. You can see right here at the beginning of battle, she's going to instantly grab that enemy and bring them over to your side of the battlefield. That is a huge tool, especially when dealing with potentially some really annoying support heroes that are stuck in the back row that you can't get to. This solves it very, very well. And you can see here, based on the number of tiles she's pulling that target as well, she's going to do additional damage to them. Killer Kick is another interesting one too, because she kicks a nearby enemy, aka really the target she's gripping across the battlefield, knocking them into the air and down for 2 seconds. So not only is she displacing that enemy, she's then also doing a crowd control on that unit. It does have an 8-second cooldown, while the Phantom Chains has a 4-second, which is kind of a cool combo. Then she follows up with 3 rapid kicks, dealing damage. Her hero's focus is kind of cool because it just gives, you know, additional attack and then even more attack when she gets an assist or a kill. And then all the way up to Supreme Plus after defeating an enemy with Crimson Vengeance, which we'll talk about here in a second, her active skill, she's going to instantly generate an additional 250 energy. So typically when you get a kill with a hero, you get about 200 energy. So she's going to go almost up to a half energy bar right when that happens. So Crimson Vengeance is that active skill. She's going to instantly gain 750 energy at the beginning of battle, so she's going to get to her ultimate very quickly. Kind of another reason why I think Lily May and Dunlinger are going to be very important in this meta, stopping these quick ultimates. After charging up briefly, she deals a huge amount of damage to the target. If the target's ratio is below 40, she then deals true damage instead. In auto battle, this skill won't be used against non-boss enemy heroes who HP is above 40. So I don't know if you guys saw our first video talking about here, and I'll see if I can highlight it right here. So we'll throw it in this combo here where we're grabbing this enemy from the other side of the battlefield. So you can see the chain part right there. You can see the knock up, knock down ability, but then you'll notice she is at full energy. She hasn't used her ultimate yet, and then she does when it does, the enemy does drop below a certain part, and then she's going to do that cycle again. She's going to chain someone over, kick them up in the air, and then if she does have the energy for it, she's going to do essentially like an execute true damage type hit, which is very powerful in PvP. So right here, you're going to see it happen once again. She's going to basically execute it, and then she's going to go ahead and chain another target, kick them up into the air. I guess the timing's a little off because she probably used it previously. There it goes. And you're going to see this time, she's going to get to that full energy, but she's not going to use it right away. And there's a reason for it. She's trying to maximize her damage in the auto battle. So again, just remember how that works. I really like her toolkit though, because when you do get her to Mythic Plus, this is when her ultimate gets even better. So after defeating an enemy hero with that ultimate skill right there, she's going to release a 2-tile shockwave around that target. So it was hard to see there because all the enemies were apart, but she basically hits that main target, kills it, and then does a 2-tile shockwave around it, which is really good damage. Basically 8% of the defeated target's max HP to all enemies within the area. This shockwave will also heal allies that are within that area by that same amount, which is really, really cool. The damage dealt and the healing from the skill will not exceed 600% of her attack, but again, she's got ways to buff her attack. If you have other heroes on the battlefield that are going to buff it even further, even better. The only downside and complaint that I've actually lodged about Nara is the fact that in order to get her kind of exclusive defining ability, you do have to wait until plus 15. At plus 5 and plus 10, she's basically just, you know, increasing the damage and the AoE and the healing. It's kind of cool how she does have like a healing part to this, but when Nara's energy is full, she will cast the Phantom Chains ability again, the little pull, the death hook type thing, over to your side of the battlefield again. That's outside of her normal range with an HP that is below 40%. So you know how this says it's going to not use this on enemies whose HP is above 40. Well, one way to get around that is with this ability. She's going to find that target on the battlefield that is below 40%, that is ready to be that executed hit. She's going to drag that sub 40% HP target over. She's going to hit them with that big ability. It's going to do the extra true damage and everything. And beyond that, it's going to do this shockwave around the target. And it's kind of a really nice combo. I want to see if we can maybe man, I actually kind of want to just like, for some reason, I want to put her like in the like the main part of this battle right here. I want to see what happens if I throw her in the front row with maybe some healing here. Oh, geez. Well, you see here, she's max energy, but she will not cast her ultimate because there is no target below a certain percentage of HP. That's kind of why it is very important to have this hero the way that it is. So let's see if we can watch it just one more time so you guys can see the skills. Drags the target over. We did pick a weak target, so it's probably going to be executed right away here. So we're not going to drag an additional enemy over. Let's see if that actually does happen, though. So we grabbed Coco this time. Coco looks like she might actually drop below the threshold, so when we do get this ultimate, it might go off. Or Nara might kill her before the ultimate. Okay, so now we have full energy. We're going to drag a target over the second someone drops below 40%. I'm kind of hoping that happens with like this target over here. Actually doesn't look like it's going to happen. Maybe. Does this target drop below? This is really hard to show you guys right here. Oh, it's so stinking close. Nope, so this one did drop below, but you can see there's that heal as well that does go out. She's going to grab the next target, and maybe, I mean, we do have a target on the battlefield sub 40%. This one's going to die, I think. Oh, it's so hard to show exactly what I want right here. Yeah, so at the end of the day, we kind of kill some targets off and everything, so it doesn't work out exactly the same, but you can see here, she's not going to cast it until they drop below 40, and the second they drop below 40, she essentially executes the target for that insane amount of damage. So it's a very interesting character toolkit. I think I am going to get her for PvP reasons, especially. She seems like she could be very, very good, especially if you can build some survivability around her. I think she's going to be better than Sinbad right out of the gate. But again, let us get her on the live servers, do some actual hard testing instead of like this scenario where like everybody is super overpowered with all the heroes. It's really hard to do like a perfect test instead of like a real life test. She has some uses. I just don't think she's a hero the average player needs. And the fact that you really, really want plus 15 on this hero does kind of make it a little sour to go for her. So hold off on building this hero. I don't think right away you should go for her. Maybe grabbing a copy for that little toolkit to rip the enemy apart from the enemy team. That could be cool because even at one copy, she should be able to do that. Let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you guys next time.